Hey Stacy, this is Christina. I told you I would get you this video over. I just kind of want to go over a few things on what I was talking about. I think it's a little better to explain if you can actually see on the screen what I'm talking about and kind of how it works, and then explain it a little further, and then maybe it'll make some more sense. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is content. There's going to be three things that are like basic strategies with SEO. That's content, citations, and backlinks. And so content just has to do with the content that's on your website. Now, generally speaking, Google wants you to have 1,000 to 1,500 words in order to be optimized with them. And you want to do this on your front page because that's where most of your backlinks are going to come back to. You can do backlinks to other pages and get ranked for them, but obviously you want to get people to your home page and then let them explore the website from there. So the strategy is to get those backlinks to your home page first. So right now with content, that includes pictures and everything and how they're saved, but generally speaking, you want to talk about the words that are on your home page. So we want 1,000 to 1,500, and you're sitting at just over 200 right now. So that would be the first thing that we're going to do is increase the amount of content to that 1,000 words. Usually it's 1,000 to 1,500, depending on what your competition is doing, but your competition doesn't have more than 1,000 words, so we would just start out with 1,000 words just to save you a little bit of money. So I did a search for lots of different keywords, but when I'm talking about keywords, I'm talking about what do people actually type in Google to find your services. So we said we wanted to focus on Tulsa since you're pretty close to there. And boudoir photography Tulsa was the top keyword, and about 260 people a month are searching for that. So those are 260 clients that you're potentially missing out on by not being on that first page of Google. So we want to show up here on the first page because people are lazy and sometimes they won't go past this first page when they're looking for whatever service they're looking for. So that's the idea, is to get on that first page, because chances that people are going to click past that are pretty slim. So your number one competitors in organic search, which is down here, is Celebrate Your Sexy, which looks like they've got tons of locations. Like here it says 45 cities. So they're not based out of Tulsa, they just pop in real quick and take your business. So I looked at what they were doing, and if you look at their location page for Tulsa, they have about 400 words. So super easy to beat just by doing that 1,000 words. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk about are citations. So anytime that you do a search for whatever keyword, you can see this next visible pack is what we call the map pack. And sometimes, especially for something like where they have to drive to you, people will go in here and look for their services because they want to look for something that's close but still quality. And the great thing about the map pack is it lists the business name, the phone number, and the address, but it also has the reviews right here. So you have a Google My Business, so you could get ranked here on the Google Map Pack. In order to do that, we have to get citations. And in order to get citations, you submit your information, your name, your phone number, and your address of your studio or your home address, however you want to do it, into different directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, CityStar, etc. So I have this tool that you could even go get if you were curious. It's called whitespark.ca, and it costs me, I sit on the lower plan of that $30 a month, but it can go all the way up to $70 a month depending on what you want it to do. But this is where we find the citations. So I plugged you in, and then if you look, Adora Lee Boudoir Studio is in the number one spot, so I plugged her in as well. And right now you're sitting at 6 citations, and she's sitting at 23, so that's why she's at the top. And if you click on them, what I'm going to do is go after citations that she has, plus what some other people have. And then it's just called the copycat method. If it works for them, it'll work for us. So that's what we would do. And I know you say, well, that's not 23. But if you look over here, the URL count is how many times they're listed under that. And then there's some that they're probably just not listed for, because it takes usually a couple months to show up on here. But we can just do a side-by-side comparison and see what citations you have versus your competition, and go out and get those same citations. And then we don't want to beat them by a little bit. They have 23, so I would probably start with 80. That way that even if they are still getting listed under other places, that you're going to be way ahead and we don't have to play a catch-up game later. And then the last thing I want to talk about are backlinks. So basically a backlink, we call it link juice, and it's like site A points to site B. Site A is the link juice, which gives Site B more authority in Google's eyes. It's like a popularity contest. So generally speaking, the more backlinks you have that are pointing to your page, then the more popular you're going to be in Google. So you want to have backlinks coming into your page, and right now this other tool I use called ahrefs.com, ahrefs.com. This one costs me about $100 a month, but it's another tool that if you were just curious and wanted to go out and pay the $100, then you could see exactly what your website's doing. And so right here is where we're looking, the backlinks and referring domains and keywords also, because keywords, like I said, is what people are searching to find you. And right now you don't have any backlinks coming to your page, so you have no power coming back to your page. Over here, the only thing that you have is trust rating, just because you're using mypixieset.com, so they already have, you know, a really big following, but you don't have any power coming to your page. Whereas when you look at Celebrate Your Sexy, they have 144 different websites, different domains, with 728 backlinks, so you can have multiple backlinks coming from one domain. And they have 3.2 thousand keywords that they're getting recognized for. And they have over 8.4 thousand people a month coming to their website, and it shows on average, which this isn't the most accurate number, but on average they're getting over $7,000 per month for what their website's doing. So it really gives you a good idea of what your competition does versus you. And what we can do is by using this tool, we can see exactly where they're listed and go get backlinks at some of these same places. It just depends on how much money we want to spend. Some backlinks are free, some backlinks cost money. For instance, like guest posts, then those cost like anywhere from $150 to $300. If you do SEO with me, I pay for that out of what you pay me. So like sometimes I'll go after a guest post and pay that money, and you don't know any different as far as like, you know, did I pay $300 this month, or was I able to find all free websites? But what I'm going to do is look for sites that are relevant to you. So when you're looking at some of these sites, we don't want to be spammy. So that means like I want to have relative site linking back to you. For example, a blog post about chiropractic care from another site isn't going to do anything for you like a photography blog post. So you're going to get a lot more power if it's relevant back to you. You're going to get more authority if it has to do with photography and what you're doing in your niche. And so sometimes people will go get these cheap or free backlinks, but they have nothing to do with what their niche is. And so it doesn't really do them a lot of good. So that's where you'll see like this is a really intimidating number. Sorry. This is a really intimidating number of backlinks. I gotta do the whole domain. They have 728, and you're like, how am I going to be able to get 728 backlinks? But a lot of those probably are junky, spammy backlinks that have nothing to do with photography. So that's what I do with SEO, is get those backlinks to your page, and then we beat out your competition that way, and that's how you start ranking with Google. So in closing, we talked about content, citations, and link juice, wanting to get about 80 citations. We'll have to beat out this number in order to beat out the #1 spot on Google, but this is the #1 spot. You know, we would start with like the number 10 spot and get you on that first page. So I hope that maybe explaining some more of this makes it not go over your head so much. I know that it's a lot of techie talk, but I tried to make it a little more simple. And I'm actually ready with your proposal. Whenever you want to give me a call, we can jump on, and it'll take me about 30 minutes to an hour to go over, and then we can see what the attack plan is. So hope to hear from you soon.